Hey guys, it's Rissy. I'm on the ground today. I don't know why. I just felt like sitting on the ground. But today I wanted to go over what Crohn's disease is and what causes it. So Crohn's disease was once thought to be an autoimmune disease, but is now considered an immune deficiency. So basically, Crohn's affects, I made a pretty picture, the entire digestive system from the mouth all the way down to the anus, unlike ulcerative colitis, which only affects the colon. So you can get ulceration and inflammation throughout your entire digestive tract, although the esophagus and stomach is a lot more rare. Typically people get it in the colon and also the terminal ileum of the small intestine. That's where I have it. I have it in the terminal ileum as well as in my colon, the cecum area of my colon, which is where the colon connects to the small intestine. Yay, pretty picture. They're not exactly sure what causes Crohn's, but they believe people are genetically susceptible to it and they are exposed to some sort of trigger. They're not sure if it's an environmental trigger or infection or other immune factors that trigger this immune response. Okay, so I wanted to make a diagram of what happens when someone gets Crohn's disease. This is just a theory. So let's say this is the bowel wall, and inside the bowel we have villi, which are what absorb the nutrients in the bowel. And then we have our normal flora, so the good bacteria in our gut that helps us digest food and also helps us fight off bad infections and bad pathogens. So it helps keep a healthy balance of bacteria in our guts. And so these are good bacteria. Oh, that's my phone. So let's put a smiley face on these. So these are all good normal flora. So these are the bacteria that we want in our gut. So this is why we take like probiotics to help us. So in Crohn's disease, the theory is that people are genetically predispositioned or to basically have an immune response that can't be turned off. So these people that are genetically susceptible are triggered by either an environmental factor or an infection, so like a bacteria or a virus. They're not really sure exactly what it is, or other immune factors. So let's just say this is going to be that trigger. So they are in the gut, and so once they're in the gut, these triggers, what happens is there are immune cells, so our immune system will see this foreign trigger and they will send cells to go after it. And so what that does is it triggers an immune response from other immune cells to release what are known as cytokines and chemokines. And those are proteins that activate other immune cells. Oh, sorry, my phone. And so what these do, they cause inflammation. And so these will actually cause other immune cells to come and fight off the infection. So then you get a lot of other immune cells that come because of the signal from the chemokines. And they come, and what they do, they release other cytokines and chemokines. And all these cells that come into the gut and the releasing of the cytokines and chemokines, that will cause this inflammation in the bowel. So cytokines are what cause the inflammation, as well as the influx of these other immune cells. And so when this happens in the Crohn's, in people with Crohn's disease, what they believe is there are immune cells that regulate when to turn off these inflammatory markers and these inflammatory cytokines and these inflammatory response immune cells. So what happens is they believe that these regulatory cells are unable to regulate turning this off. And so basically you have this inflammatory response to these foreign triggers that just doesn't turn off, and so you have this constant inflammation, which causes damage to the cell wall. So this is what causes the inflammation, damage, and the ulcerations. And these cytokines can also travel out into the bloodstream, and they can go and they can travel and cause inflammation in other places. So like when you get it on your skin, like skin rashes, or what I think arthritis, that's my theory as to why you can get the arthritis from the Crohn's, because you have these inflammatory markers going through the bloodstream and affecting other organs and other parts of your body. I know my drawing is pretty cartoony, but I hope that this was a good explanation on one of the theories that is what causes Crohn. I didn't really go into the specific names of the cells, but if you want to know more about it, just comment and ask me, and I will try to explain it the best I can. Considered an immune deficiency because you're deficient in these regulatory T lymphocytes. So this is just a theory. They aren't exactly sure, but this is what they believe is going on. This is what I read in some of my research that I've done into it. So it might be true, it might not be, but it is a problem with your immune system having the inability to turn off the inflammatory response, and so that causes the damage in your intestines. Yay! That's Crohn's disease. I hope I explained it well. Anyways, if you have any questions, comments, and I will try to explain what I can. I did take immunology in school and, you know, microbiology major, so I know a little bit about it. So I am all up for answering questions. If I didn't explain it very well, let me know and I will make a better video. Anyways, I hope you like it and please subscribe.